Cracking your knuckles is a common habit that many people engage in, either out of curiosity, nervousness, or simply because it feels satisfying. The sound it produces, a sharp pop or crack, can be startling to some and oddly satisfying to others. But what exactly happens when you crack your knuckles? Is it harmful, or is it just a harmless quirk? This video delves into the science behind knuckle cracking, exploring the mechanisms, potential effects, and myths surrounding this intriguing phenomenon. The science behind the sound produced when you crack your knuckles, has been a subject of scientific curiosity for decades. The most widely accepted explanation comes from a study conducted in 1971 by researchers who used MRI imaging to observe what happens inside the joint during knuckle cracking. Their findings, later supported by additional research, suggest that the sound is caused by the formation and collapse of gas bubbles in the synovial fluid, a lubricating liquid found in joints. Here's how it works. Joint anatomy. The human body is designed with joints surrounded by a protective capsule filled with synovial fluid. This thick, lubricating fluid reduces friction between bones during movement, allowing for smooth and efficient motion. Synovial fluid contains dissolved gases, including oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide, which play a crucial role in the knuckle cracking process. Cavitation. When you pull, stretch, or bend a finger to crack a knuckle, you create additional space within the joint capsule. This sudden expansion reduces the pressure inside the joint, causing the dissolved gases in the synovial fluid to come out of solution and form bubbles. The process of creating bubbles through this pressure drop is called cavitation. The pop. The characteristic popping sound occurs when the bubbles rapidly collapse or burst within the joint capsule. This collapse marks the return of the joint to its previous state. Once the bubbles have collapsed, the gases begin to dissolve back into the synovial fluid. Interestingly, after cracking a knuckle, it typically takes 15 to 30 minutes for the gases to fully dissolve back into the synovial fluid. This is why you cannot immediately crack the same knuckle again. It needs time to recharge. Contrary to some myths, knuckle cracking has not been conclusively linked to arthritis, though excessive joint manipulation may cause other issues over time. Understanding the science behind this common habit reveals just how fascinating our body mechanics are. Is knuckle cracking harmful? One of the most debated questions about knuckle cracking is whether it's harmful to your joints. For years, people have speculated that cracking your knuckles could lead to arthritis, joint damage, or other long-term problems. However, scientific research has largely debunked these myths. 1. Arthritis myth. A famous study conducted by Dr. Donald Unger in 1998 put this myth to the test. Dr. Unger cracked the knuckles of his left hand at least twice a day for 50 years, while leaving his right hand untouched. After 5 decades, he found no difference in the incidence of arthritis between the two hands. His findings, while anecdotal, were later supported by larger studies that found no significant link between knuckle cracking and arthritis. 2. Joint damage. Research has also shown that knuckle cracking does not appear to cause joint damage or reduce grip strength. A 2017 study published in the journal PLOS One examined the hand health of 215 people, comparing those who cracked their knuckles regularly with those who did not. The study found no difference in joint health or function between the two groups. 3. Temporary effects. While knuckle cracking is generally harmless, some people may experience temporary swelling or reduced grip strength immediately after cracking their knuckles. However, these effects are usually short-lived and not a cause for concern. Why do people crack their knuckles? If knuckle cracking isn't harmful, why do people do it? The reasons vary from person to person, but some common explanations include 1. Satisfaction. Many people find the sound and sensation of cracking their knuckles satisfying. It can provide a sense of relief or release, similar to stretching after sitting for a long time. 2. Habit. For some, knuckle cracking becomes a habitual behavior, often done unconsciously in response to stress, boredom, or anxiety. 3. Increased mobility. Some individuals report feeling increased mobility or flexibility in their joints after cracking their knuckles. While this sensation is subjective, it may be due to the temporary stretching of the joint capsule. 4. Attention seeking. In some cases, people crack their knuckles to draw attention or provoke a reaction from others, especially if the sound is loud or startling. Potential risks and considerations. While knuckle cracking is generally safe, there are a few potential risks and considerations to keep in mind. 1. Overdoing it. Excessive or forceful knuckle cracking could potentially strain the ligaments or tendons surrounding the joint. This is more likely to occur if you use improper techniques or apply too much pressure. 2. Underlying conditions. If you experience pain, swelling, or discomfort when cracking your knuckles, it could be a sign of an underlying joint condition such as osteoarthritis or tendinitis. In such cases, it's best to consult a healthcare professional. 3. Social perception. While knuckle cracking isn't harmful, some people may find the sound annoying or unpleasant. Being mindful of your surroundings and avoiding the habit in quiet or formal settings can help maintain positive social interactions. The psychological aspect of knuckle cracking. Beyond the physical mechanics, knuckle cracking also has a psychological dimension. For many, it serves as a form of stress relief or a way to cope with anxiety. The act of cracking a knuckle can provide a momentary distraction or a sense of control, especially in high-pressure situations. Additionally, the sound itself can be oddly satisfying, triggering a release of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. However, for some individuals, knuckle cracking can become a compulsive behavior, particularly if it's tied to anxiety or obsessive-compulsive tendencies. In such cases, finding alternative coping mechanisms such as deep breathing exercises or fidget tools may be beneficial. Cultural perspectives on knuckle cracking. Knuckle cracking is perceived differently across various cultures and social contexts. In some communities, it's seen as a harmless or even subconscious habit, while in others, it may be frowned upon or deemed inappropriate. For instance, in certain formal or professional settings, cracking your knuckles can be interpreted as a sign of nervousness, impatience, or a lack of proper decorum, potentially leaving a negative impression. Conversely, in more casual environments, people may be indifferent or view it as a benign quirk. Cultural expectations also play a role in shaping these perceptions, as behaviors considered acceptable in one culture may be viewed differently in another. Being aware of such cultural norms is essential when interacting with diverse groups. Paying attention to social cues and adjusting your actions accordingly demonstrates respect and social awareness, helping you navigate various situations more smoothly and maintain positive interactions with others. Cracking your knuckles is a fascinating phenomenon that combines biology, physics, and psychology. The sound you hear is the result of gas bubbles forming and collapsing in the synovial fluid within your joints, a process known as cavitation. Despite long-standing myths, scientific research has shown that knuckle cracking is generally harmless and does not cause arthritis or joint damage. However, like any habit, it's important to be mindful of how and when you crack your knuckles. While it may provide a sense of satisfaction or relief for some, excessive or forceful cracking could potentially lead to minor strain or discomfort. If you experience pain or notice any changes in your joint health, it's always a good idea to consult a healthcare professional. Ultimately, knuckle cracking is a harmless quirk for most people, and understanding the science behind it can help demystify this common yet intriguing behavior. So, the next time you crack your knuckles, you can appreciate the complex interplay of biology and physics that creates that familiar pop, and rest assured that you're not doing any lasting harm to your joints. If you found this video informative, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content. Thank you.